It's going to move us on now to the number 3 seed in the West, the Austin College Roos, coming in at 11-13, 7-9 here in the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference. Head coach Rodney Wecker leading the way, and they got a good player here, Jordan Hancock.
Oh, Jordan Hancock's a great player. 13.9 points a game, 2.5 assists, 1.1 steals. That's exactly what you want from your guard. You want him to be able to score, you want to be able to pass the ball, and you want him to be able to play defense. He shows you can do all those things with those stats.
And I also got a big man down low in Josh Saunders, averaging 11.7 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, number 5 in the SCAC, 2.6 assists a game, and 1.3 blocks a game. And they also got another big forward in Walter Phillips, 12.9 points a game and 1.5 steals a game.
Yeah, Saunders' assist is what really impresses me. 2.6 assists a game from a forward, not something you see a whole lot in the SCAC.
Yeah, definitely a great player here for the Roos. And now we're going to move on to the 4 seed here in the East, the Rhodes College Lynx. Here's another team, started 0-10 in the SCAC, and they won 3 out of their last 6 to get into the SCAC tournament. We saw them here in Jackson, another team we saw, and you knew this team was going to break through. They have a good team, and they have a great player in Andrew Galow, and you were just waiting for this team to pick up some wins. You didn't think it was going to keep up.
Oh, absolutely. 3-13 is not someone you expect to see in the tournament, but they managed to pull it out at the end, and a lot of that is because of Andrew Galow. 15.2 points a game, number 5 in the SCAC, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1 steal. Also the newcomer of the year last year. He's a very good player.
Absolutely. Also look out for John Donovan, number 20, 9.6 points a game and 0.6 steals. They got a big win over Birmingham-Southern. Again, a team we mentioned, number 1 overall in the SCAC. They beat Birmingham-Southern by 11. They took it to the Panthers. Huge win. Without that win, they're not here.
No, absolutely not. And that's what you need. At the end of the season, you got to make something happen. And that's exactly what the Red Lynx did. And kudos to head coach Mike DeGeorge. He obviously got his team up for the end of the season.
And that's going to move us to the final seed, the number 4 seed in the West, the Hendricks Warriors. Another team that made a run to get in, won 4 out of their last 6 games, which included 3 SCAC wins to get into the tournament, which included an epic 2 overtime win over Austin College on the last day of the tournament to punch their ticket.
Yeah, they did everything they could to get into this tournament. They were fighting and clawing, and they managed to do it. Head coach Thad McCracken did a great job with his team, and Nick Heathscott, 13.1 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, 2nd team All-SCAC last year. He's one of the leaders of this team, along with Ammon Martin, who
does a little bit of everything. 10.4 points a game, 5.2 rebounds a game, 2.8 assists a game, and a steal a game.
Martin and Heathscott, you got to watch out for them too, but don't forget about Jaren Riley, 10.6 points a game and 2.3 assists.
And a lot of the key, we mentioned, especially with these lower seeds, when you're fighting to get in, all you have to do is get into the tournament and you have a shot. And if you're coming hot like Hendricks is right now, these high seeds better watch out.
Yeah, you're not battling home court. You're going to be playing someone that's a neutral court situation, and if you're hot, you get your right players doing the right things at the right times, you never know who you can upset.
There's the 8 teams for you on the men's side. Now we're going to go into the matchups here in the bracket. We're going to start off with the first game of the day, the number 1 seed Trinity Tigers versus the number 4 seed in the East, Rhodes Lynx. It is set for Friday, February 25th, 1 p.m. at Belhaven University.
Yeah, this is a big matchup here. Rhodes 7-17, 3-13. This is a team that barely snuck in against the number 1 seed in the West, Trinity. Trinity's been impressive this year. They do a good job of holding on to the ball. And Calderera, Mr. Mustache, 13.9 points a game, had 15 points against Rhodes last time they met, in which the Trinity won that game by double digits.
Absolutely. So it could be an interesting first-round matchup. As you said, watch out for Rhodes. Another team that's hot right now coming into the tournament, and you got to look out for Galow. And as we're going to go now to the second matchup today, the number 2 seed in the East, the DePaul Tigers, versus the number 3 seed in the West, Austin College Roos, set for Friday, February 25th, 3 p.m. here at over at Belhaven University. And interesting matchup. You look at the Tigers and the Roos. The Roos, more points a game, more rebounds a game, but again, that key stat we keep pointing out, turnovers.
Austin College, 17 turnovers a game. one of the worst in the tournament at that. And DePaul just plays such good defense, you know they're going to force even more turnovers. But look for Sean Hasley, who had averaged 14 points a game. He had 20 points against Austin in their last meeting. He's an absolute stud out there.
Absolutely. And we'll see if Austin, who has good size and obviously some athletic big men, they can get rolling in. And as we said throughout this broadcast, cut down on those turnovers, they can spring for an upset.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Saunders is a very good player inside for Austin College.
And Jordan Hancock as well. That's another one to watch there for Austin College. And then, of course, Phillips, as we've mentioned today, he had 19 points in the last matchup. So Austin College could be a threat here to DePaul, only if they can cut down the turnovers.
They cut down the turnovers, anything can happen for this Austin College team.
And that's going to move on to the next matchup. The number 1 seed, Center Colonels, taking on the number 4 seed in the West, Hendrix Warriors. Set for a 6 p.m. start time at Belhaven University. Center, the number 1 seed, 18-4 on the season, 13-3 in the SCAC. You know, a lot of people say Hendrix is probably heading to a buzzsaw here.
Oh, absolutely. Center is just absolutely loaded. Alex Lloyd, their center, 9.8 points a game, 9.8 rebounds a game, 1.5 blocks. This team out-rebounds its opponent by 7.5 rebounds a game, and it's just because center is just so loaded down low. Greg Ross, also a forward who plays down low for this team, 14.6 points a game and 6.5 rebounds. Ross scored 22 points in the last meeting. Center just has a very good team this year.
And look out for Hendrix, as you said, one of the hot teams coming in. As you said, you get in, you have a chance. But we'll see if Hendrix can hang in there, and it's going to be tough, I'll say that.
Yeah, Hendrix is that's going to be a huge upset if Hendrix somehow pull off the win. But you never know. Hendrix has they're on a hot streak right now.
And that's going to bring us to the final matchup of the day. And without a doubt, there's a reason it's the nighttime matchup, prime time. This is going to be an absolutely, I can't wait for this game. We're not even going to get the broadcast.
I'm so upset we're not going to be able to watch this live.
This is going to be an incredible game between the number 2 seed in the West, the Colorado College Tigers, versus the number 3 seed in the East, Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels, 8 p.m., Belhaven University. These teams are so even, but we'll come back to this slide. We're going to go ahead and go even further and look at the top 2 scorers in the SCAC, Nick Rose versus Todd Ward.
And as I talked about earlier, I said the only person who could threaten Nick Rhodes for SCAC Player of the Year is Todd Ward, and there are the stats in front of you right now. They both are such great players. 22 points for Rhodes, almost 16 for Ward, but Ward with those 9.2 rebounds a game, looking really good out there.
And there's another thing. Look, Ward, though it's not by much, Ward averages more assists a game than Rhodes.
Yeah, you would not think that, as Ward's more of the big man down low, averaging almost a double-double.
And it's just going to be a terrific battle between this. They won't be guarding each other. Rose more of a guard, Ward more of a forward. In their last game they met, Colorado knocked off Oglethorpe 64-59. Rose goes for 29 points. Ward answers back with 24 points of his own. I expect something very similar.
Yeah, they're both going to probably go off in this game. I expect over 20 for both of these players in this matchup.
Absolutely will be. I think that game's going to steal the show. Definitely look forward to it. Emails hilljc32@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Also, any questions, comments, concerns. If you need any hotel information, I can give you that. Anything at all that you might need. Also, any more information about the tournament would be at scacsports.com, also gomajors.com, where the tournament page is. And one more time, the broadcast will be at atwsportscast.com. We will have every game that is in the Hangar Dome. Every game will be broadcasted there. And then we will also have live video thanks to DePaul University at Belhaven that first day. So again, we thank you. We were glad we could give you our faces for once instead of just our voices. And we hope everyone will be listening and is just excited as we are for the SCAC tournament coming up. Any final thoughts?
I think this is going to be a great tournament. We both filled out our brackets. We had some differences in our picks, and it just shows you that it's going to be a really fun weekend. It's going to be a lot of close games. Please tune into us all weekend long.
And with that said, we say good night, everybody, and we can't wait for the tournament coming up. Again, the dates one more time, February 25th through February 27th. Thank you, and have a great night.
Have a great night, everybody.